Anybody who has a chance, given the experience or your details that require hiring, they will be hired in due course if their services are needed by the Qatari authorities.
Okay. Now, in these circumstances, some unscrupulous individuals might take this opportunity to impersonate the authorities, and even go as far as collecting money from individuals. Now, do you have any experience, and what is the warning? What is the penalty if anybody is caught doing such a thing?
Yes, Jalo. I think I had mentioned earlier on that the deadline for submission ended 30th of November 2012. However, the ministry is reliably informed that there are some unscrupulous people who are still receiving applicants from interested people and saying that it will be submitted to the Minister of Trade. I want to use this opportunity to tell everybody that this is not true. We are no longer open to accepting applications, and furthermore, some are even going to the point of recruiting on behalf of the state of Qatar. Let me also say that this is not on. It's not true. They can never help them. If they do so, they're doing so at their own peril.
Well, Permanent Secretary Nafi Baride in an exclusive interview with GRTS's Mamadou Jala. Disaster victims in the Kanifing municipality have received needed support in the form of the bills of use clothing courtesy of a prominent Gambian businessman. As we hear in this report, Mayor Yankuba Kali received the items on behalf of the National Disaster Management Agency. Described as another timely gesture, Salif K. Jaite, a renowned Gambian businessman, recently donated bills of use clothing to the National Disaster Management Agency for onward distribution among disaster victims. The event occurred at the Kanifing Municipal Council grounds, where Mr. Sidi Jaite, on behalf of his father, handed over the materials to Mayor Yankuba Koli. Given the fact that KMC is densely populated as a result of urbanization and other factors, it is therefore very prone to disaster. As a result of this, Mr. Sidi Jaite called for private sector participation in order to tackle this challenge.
I feel the private sector has a key role to play to help the government attain its development objectives. SK Jaite and Sons will remain committed to this cause. We are Gambians and we will contribute our quota effectively to national development.
Receiving the materials from Mr. Jaite, Mayor Koli applauded the donors for their continued support rendered to disaster victims in the KMC and the nation at large. He also urged other private sectors to emulate the gesture of the donor.
Definitely repeat to thank Salif K. Jaite for the gesture, and also to ask others who can also do the same to come to our aid, knowing fully well that government, both government and council cannot do it all. The little that we can do, if the private sector also involves, I think it will go a long way in helping the poor that are normally affected during disasters.
The KMC disaster coordinator also thanked Salif K. Jaite and Sons for coming to their aid.
To this magnitude is definitely, I was not thinking of this. Because all the time what I was thinking was something like 5 or 10 bills. 100, definitely I am very much elated. And I would, through you, extend our sincere gratitude and thanks to Alhaji Salifu Jaite, and be rest assured that these materials that are given will go a long way in helping, the victims within the municipality.
This donation of used clothing, if properly utilized, will surely serve a purpose. Therefore, it is the collective responsibility to live a conscious and responsive environmental life to minimize natural disasters, as they are in many occasions unpredictable. For GRTS News, I am Ajami Sise. The Youth Development Association of Talinding on Sunday descended on the KMC premises to rid it of dirt, a move described by KMC officials as laudable and worth of emulation by their fellow youths. Fatu Jasi reports.
Youth Development Association of Talinding, YDAT, is committed to complementing the efforts of the government of the Gambia in its drive to make the Gambia a clean nation. It is against this backdrop that over 20 youths of Talinding Kunjang took upon themselves to render humanitarian service to their municipal council without asking for a butut in return. This and many of its kind are part of the association's action plans aimed at contributing their quota towards national development. Despite being one of the youngest registered youth associations in the Kanifi municipality, the volunteers were able to accomplish their mission by cleaning both within and outside the premises of KMC. Modu Cham, Public Relations Officer of Youth Development Association of Talinding, revealed that this cleansing exercise was his association's last plan of action for the year 2012. Piero Cham went on to say that embarking on this exercise at KMC's premises is vital, noting the pivotal role the council plays in the socio-economic advancement of its people.
As an association or as youths, we should think of how we are going to develop our country, not to think of what the country can do us. I know with the leader we have, Professor Dr. Alhaji Yahya Ejejame, he can do everything for us. But let's think of what we also can do for this country.
Rohit Dabagay, the youth advisor, said the exercise was purely voluntary. She described the exercise as part of development, stressing that development cannot be divorced from a healthy environment. She called on all the youths of the country to synergize efforts with government towards socio-economic development.
When you are not having a clean environment, then you are not healthy.
The Chief Executive Officer of KMC, Mustafa Njai, expressed his council's appreciation for what he called a laudable move that is geared towards developing the nation. He used the opportunity to call on other youths of his municipality to emulate the youth of Talinding Kunjang, who render service in the spirit of free will, only in the name of complementing the efforts of the government of the Gambia.
We appreciate their efforts and we want all the youths to emulate them, so that we get the municipality clean. You know, this is the aspiration of His Excellency the President, that the whole area, our environment should be clean, free of mosquitoes, whatever. So we are very happy to have them today from Talinding Kunjang. And if you go on the highway also, you see, a lot of steps have been done to clean the highways, and we are very appreciative of that.
The association, though young, has registered remarkable success in relation to community service. Their areas of intervention include drama, debate, music, sports, among other things. For GRTS News, I am Fatou Jassi.
The next Operation Clean the Nation is slated for Saturday, 5th January 2013 throughout the country. A news release from the National Environment Agency reminds all governors, Seifolu, Alkalolu and councillors of the presidential directives, urging them to organize and coordinate the national cleanup exercise in their localities. The agency, the Dispatch Art, solicits the support, cooperation and active participation of the general public, all government and private institutions, CI companies, youth organizations, members of the Gambia Transport Control Association and Tipper Garage at Bakote in the national exercise. Very limited permits for movement of essential vehicles will be available upon application at the National Environment Agency, and all individuals, institutions and organizations in need of such permits should submit their request to NEA not later than Thursday, 3rd January 2013. Applications received after this date will not be processed. The release ends. Well, from that, we're going to take a very short break. Now the news continues in just a moment.
Lucozade Energy, energizing Gambia.
Welcome back to GRTS News. The President of Ivory Coast has declared 3 days of national mourning following the death of 60 people in a New Year's Eve stampede. President Alassane Ouattara has also called for an investigation into the cause of the incident. Desperate relatives of victims have been visiting hospitals in Abidjan to account for their relatives. We have details in this report.
Families of the victims of the stampede formed a crowd Wednesday morning at the CHU morgue in the Tricheville district of Abidjan. Bereaved families have not found all their members missing among the at least 60 people declared dead. All of the injured have been admitted to hospitals, such as this little girl who lost her mother.
The mother of this little girl died. She definitely was killed in the stampede. We evacuated the body of the mother. Tomorrow we'll see what we can do for the girl.
At the disaster site on the plateau, flowers have been placed at the foot of a tree in memory of the dead. The President of Côte d'Ivoire has declared 3 days of national